right, folks. Good morning. It's another Thursday in the land. It's the 19th day of April, 2018. And believe it or not, we are living in interesting times in this country. The 8th National Assembly and the impolitic methodologies. Now, the waywardness, if you will, of lawmakers in our country dates back to May 25, 1962, when the famous act of Mace seizure was recorded for the first time. This was in the old Western region, the so-called Wild, Wild West. Now, 56 years after, lawmakers of our rough and tumble Fourth Republic, like die-hard pranksters, are reliving this impolitic style of legislation. The Gestapo-style snatching of the symbol of authority of April 18th has an intriguing genesis. Let's provoke the debate here. Let me quickly introduce my guests. Honorable Olusegun Olulade is a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, representing Ekpe Constituency 2, right?
Yeah.
He's also a businessman. Welcome.
I was.
Was a businessman, please.
Thank you.
Was. Let's speak in the past tense. We have Coalition for Nigeria, the convener Coalition for Nigeria, also a businessman, Sabo Ode. I greet you, sir.
Thank you so much. Good
yes,
morning.
sir. So,
good morning, Nigeria.
How do we open? You set the ball rolling.
Yes, like I do know that Mace snatching was not the first time that is happening, but the level at which it has taken is frightening. Of course, every right-thinking man would encourage what happened at the Harlow chambers of the National Assembly yesterday. But I think that we begin to look back at the root causes of why this is happening. And a lot of issues come to play here.
How do you open?
Well, for me, I don't see any reason why we should have a why. There's no reason for impunity. There's no reason for illegality. There's no reason for unreasonable acts or shameful acts like what happened, invading the Harlow chamber of the Senate, of the highest
lawmaking
organ in Nigeria. Yeah. And if it was a matter of the senator taking up the mace, it's going to be a different ballgame. But when we have people coming from outside, invading the Harlow chamber, snatching the mace, and I think it called for concern. And that is very, very worrisome. And that's why I said there shouldn't be any reason whatsoever, because that is the only body, that is the only arm of government that make us to realize that we are in a democratic system of government. Once you take that arm of government out of the system, what you have is a military or an oligarchy system of government.
Yeah. And come to think of it, the area is called the Three Arms Zone.
Yeah.
You have the presidency,
the executive,
the executive, the legislative, and judiciary in the same arm.
Yeah.
And so you say security was compromised?
I think so. I think so. It's not easy for people from outside that environment just walk into the chambers and pick up the mace
unchallenged.
Unchallenged, and we begin to look at compromise, state managed. Anything could have happened there yesterday. We are just looking at it. We believe that the police are investigating.
The senator says he escaped being abducted.
Yeah,
that is what he said.
That's what he said.
Yes. Until the police can furnish us with their investigations and we know the truth of the matter from their investigation, then we can conclude.
Ode, let me start with you. Let's break it down.
Yes.
This whole thing has a genesis.
Of course it does.
10 senators at the Red Chamber started this whole thing, you know. No, we are not in agreement with your tinkering with the election roster or sequence. Yes. Omo-Agege being one of them. The rest are from upcountry.
Thank you.
Now, Omo-Agege is accused of having disparaged the Red Chamber by mentioning this thing outside of the chamber. He was asked to apologize. He did.
Yes.
After the apologies, he was still slammed with the suspension. What's happening here?
Let me come back to what I was saying earlier. The Senate itself, you want to look back at how the leadership of the Senate evolved. And across time, you will look at some sort of gangsterism in the style that they lead themselves.
These are your words.
Yes. Otherwise, who says that you can't form a group in the Senate? Why pick 10 of them and then you are giving a special treatment to one of the senators who apparently is from the South? What I'm trying to say here is that you come to equity with clean hands. As soon as you begin to come to equity with soiled hands, you can expect any kind of...
You yourself are inequitable.
Yes, you can expect any kind of reaction. Mm. And who, I want to come back again. We say thugs invaded the Halo chambers. Is it possible that angry Nigerians invaded the Halo chambers?
So who defined them as thugs?
Well, that's what every media is talking about. That's what the Senate is saying. But can the Senate also not tell us
except this media house.
Well, can the Senate not also tell us whether those are angry Nigerians?
Okay. Honorable Olulade, at the Lagos Assembly, you are a part of it. Yeah. You disagree sometimes.
We do. We do.
But do you go overboard? Do you sometimes go overboard?
No. And that's why we say in Lagos State House of Assembly, we are above the common standard of excellence. And we are proving that several times. And it doesn't mean that you cannot disagree with one another. We do disagree, but we have a mechanism at which we resolved our disagreement. Now, for instance, what he was talking about concerning the issue, I don't want us to play the card of ethnicity here. Personally, I felt that it was wrong in the first instance for Omo-Agege, for me, to be suspended. For me,
let me pause you slightly there.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you saying the Lagos State House of Assembly cannot suspend you, for instance, if you are found to be erring? Is there any provision?
No. There is no provision.
No, in the law books, in the rule books.
Yeah, there's a provision in the rule book.
That you can be...
suspended
or something, yeah.
Now, but we also have in the same rule book that says that once a matter is in the law suit or is in the law court,
yeah,
you can't say anything about that same matter on the floor of the House.
It becomes sub judice.
Yes.
Sub judice, yeah.
So, for me, why I agree that the rule of the House must be followed, but the Constitution of Nigeria supersedes our rules as a legislator. So, in as much as I know that Omo-Agege must have good for him to come back and say, I apologize. And if they still feel that his apology is not sufficient enough, but for the fact that he can be suspended, but for the fact that he has gone to court to say, wait, we are lawmakers. I believe that the highest law-making institution in Nigeria is the Senate. So they have that onus on them to always obey the law. So that is my personal view.
Okay.
But like I said, we cannot, because of one illegality, now promote another illegality. If people, and that is why I said it's very, very difficult for me to say it is Omo-Agege that introduced, because the distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I don't think he will want to
to harm his records.
Or disparage
the Senate.
The Red Chamber, yeah.
The Red Chamber, the Hollow Chamber. So I don't think he's going to do that. Well, like he put it, maybe some angry people, Nigerians.
Don't forget that Omo-Agege represents a group of Nigerians.
People, yeah.
His people. And you cannot stop him from representing them after the suspension was for 90 days. Even the law statute says you cannot suspend him.
In fact, the
beyond.
Constitution,
yes.
the ground norm, as they say,
but beyond 7 days.
Cannot, yeah,
7 days. And then you want the man not to go and represent his people. What if the people storm from Asaba and say, we are going to go to the National Assembly and make sure that our son represents us well? You can't stop them.
But you know, this thing is about the picture it's cutting for the larger Nigerian society. Opinion is divided. So, there are people who will hold on to that stick, that rope of saying Omo-Agege brought those guys. Some others will say no.
Investigations will prove that otherwise.
Yeah. So we should not preempt anything.
No, I don't think so.
Allow investigations to
roll on. Of course, it's at the stage of investigation right now. So anything we see on TV
allow the police
could be prejudice.
Yeah. You know, but then as you mentioned it in passing, so we might as well go into it. Yeah. The conduct of our politicians at every level.
I think that's what we should be discussing here.
Let's do it.
Yes, I think this is what, because my friend here is in the assembly, is in the law-making organ, and I appreciate him. But what is obtainable in the National Assembly is different from what you do in Lagos. I live in Abuja, and I know exactly what transpires. I am the convener of the coalition for Nigeria. We have sensitized, we have moved people to react to some of the resolutions, some of the laws coming up from the National Assembly. One of it was the recently passed resolution asking the president to sack all the service chiefs, citing the reasons for the killings in part of some of the country.
What does the coalition say?
The coalition is saying, no, that resolution shouldn't stand.
Why?
Why should it stand? When you, as the Senate, in deliberating what is nice for the military, when did you, in 2016, the president sent you a loan request for $29 billion to use in securing the country. You turned it down. Just recently, you and me are aware that the president sent a request for $1 million, assent given by the state governors, from the SS crude account, for him to procure arms. Where is that request today? Where is the request?
Let me pause you. How do you react?
Well, I will say this, that, well, I don't want us to go too far about this issue. The issue of we had the representative of the people. The senator had every right to pass a motion on every issue as it relates to governance. And if the service chief, if people are being killed, and there are insinuation of the so-called service chiefs colluding.
They are not so-called.
Sorry. The service chiefs colluding with some external forces to allow the killing.
You can't prove that. That collusion you just mentioned, I don't like to hear it because because you stay in Lagos. You are in the comfort of perfect things, and we stay up there knowing exactly what. I'm from Benue.
Ode, which is why you want to take a second look at the resolution.
Yeah,
if you were commander-in-chief, what would you have done?
Excuse me, if you don't...
No, if you address the question.
Yeah, you don't send a soldier man to the war front to go and fight war without a gun.
Yeah.
And somebody is asking the Senate to approve money so that they can go and buy this equipment. And you are saying no, because you want to get a cut out of it.
That's what you have proven?
Yes.
You have your source?
I have my source. We know it. Because, you know, this Senate, and unfortunately the young man here, is fond of saying we want to tell the presidency, if you don't give us this percentage, we don't pass this.
Or they will bring this to Lagos. In Lagos State at a time.
It might not be happening.
Hold on. At a time, there was a particular...
You tell these service chiefs to go?
Wait, make you wait now. I'm taking you physically, you know, in the mind's eyes to Lagos. At the time, the Ikorodu axis was giving a lot of problems to the government.
Yes.
What did the State Assembly do? Tell him.
Yeah, we rise to the occasion. We're able to say, okay, Governor, please address this issue. And at the end of the day, the matter has been resolved today.
That is collaborative.
We were able to release fund, we were able to approve fund, we were able to do other, but with clear mandates for them.
Or advice. You can't mandate the governor.
Advice.
You advise,
to please ensure that this is done. And today we are all safe in that part. I'm from Ekpe, you understand? And you also know that as we're then, we were having issues of insecurity. But today is a thing of the past.
You didn't tell the governor, sack the commissioner of police, sack the commander of...
Because the governor does not have the right to sack the commissioner of police.
In this case, where the Senate is asking Mr. President to passing a resolution.
Now you are taking us to Abuja. Take us.
I am not saying that position is correct or is not correct. What I'm saying is that it is the right of the Senate to come out and say, sack these people if they are not working. They have that right.
Advice.
Or the advice.
Yes. It's a resolution.
It's a resolution, is the advice. And that advice, because...
Could be taken or not taken?
Yes. It could be taken because it's an advice.
And we are advising from the front of the coalition for Nigeria that Mr. President on arrival should totally ignore such advice. You know why?
If you tell me.
One of it is the psychological. Somebody is on the platform, on the battlefront for 3 years. He has keyed his thoughts on how to react. He has forwarded, fast-tracked his reaction and reaction time and says, okay, intelligence come. He has shared it and says, from now to 7 days, this is how we are going to mop up. This is how we are going to react to insurgencies, to headsmen, to this and that. And you suddenly pass a resolution. See, this man is not doing his work. And you have not given him the tools to do the work. And you say, sack him.
All right.
There is no... the problem we have here...
Which takes me back to what prompted this angle to the discussion.
Yes.
What's your take? Now let me face the politician.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you characterize the Nigerian politician of 2018?
It's a personal view of every individual. Everybody have the right to his own view. But what he's talking about, the same senates that we're talking about, the so-called people that they refer to as thugs, came in to the National Assembly. They entered into the Hallowed Chamber, went back through the same medium, and nobody was picked, no arrest was made, and we say we have security at the National Assembly. So we have issues here. So when for instance, if the senators comes up, the National Assembly members come up and says all the security apparatus that are in the National Assembly should be discarded with and bring in new, fresh people. Is there anything wrong in that?
There's a management team for the National Assembly, if you don't know.
So sorry, is there anything wrong with that if the National Assembly says to me, hold on to the Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, let's have...
The call for me is ill-timed, is deceptive, is bemusing.
Again, these are your personal...
Yes,
now, let's go to Omo-Agege. I like, we have pandered enough.
Okay.
You know, so let's go back. We're still talking about the Nigerian politician.
Yes.
The Senate erred in not going by the rule book.
They have always overreacted. Because somebody in the Senate...
Your senator is one of them.
Well, I don't need to talk about him personally, but I know that the congregation of those senators have ever and always overreacted. Ever. Now, you know as a legislator that you must be guided by some kind of statute books that you use.
Yeah.
There's a code that you operate within the Lagos State of Assembly. Yeah. Now, why do you go outside it? What are you looking for? Anarchy. And right now they are getting anarchy. My brother, we have not had enough.
Enough of what?
What is happening in the National Assembly?
Okay.
You can expect more.
Oh,
because
really?
what is happening there is not just ordinary.
Okay.
I'm telling you, because those guys, those senators we have, the current...
I want to believe that as a convener of the coalition...
I do a lot of investigation.
You are not an establishment man.
I do a lot of investigations.
Are you an establishment man?
Yes, why not?
Oh, you are?
Yes, if you want me to tell you that. We do a lot of investigations. We have facts. We have situation rooms across Nigeria that we can tinker with intelligence and tinker with information that we need.
And get the information.
Of course we can. So I'm telling you here right now, until Saraki and his senators begin to do and work according to the tandems of the status book that he has, is a red book that he has. Otherwise, you are going to be hearing this kind of reactions constantly.
Honorable Olulade is saying until Senator Saraki and his colleagues go by the rule book. Let's talk about the rule book here. Yeah. You have one at the Lagos Assembly.
Yes.
Is there any time you have had to go against the Speaker?
Yes, severally. Okay. We have had issues with debates. I mean, people should come to the Lagos State House of Assembly and see how we debate. You debate for and against. We have had cause to say no to Mr. Speaker, but once Mr. Speaker rules, it becomes the final.
Okay, the ruling will be...
positive or negative?
The ruling will be coming from a particular tangent. Look, we put it to vote?
Yes. Once it's put into
when the
vote,
ayes have it,
and the ayes have it,
it is law.
It becomes the mandate for every lawmaker in that chamber.
Let's
so
return.
You cannot. Let me also say this.
Okay.
We have had cases of people having a minor report when we are supporting, submitting a report on a particular, and somebody can decide. It's part of the rule to say, I am not in tandem with what you have said, even being a member of this committee. And it is allowed.
All right.
That still does not change anything.
All right.
And we can now put it to the whole House and put it into vote. And whosoever carried this...
Okay. Ode will, technically speaking, return us to the National Assembly. Yeah. You are not happy with the leadership of the Senate, right?
I don't think so. Yes, I'm not.
You are not happy?
Yes, because they are getting us into more trouble than necessary.
What do you think is responsible for this?
Because of high-handedness, because of some of them are so proud. And you see, a situation where you find one man controls everything, there must be anarchy. And that is what Saraki is doing at the moment. If you are not on the same page with him, there's somebody who is kicking your boot.
But a former Senate president who is a senator from your state, David Mark.
He had style. He had style. He had management. How many people were there suspending when David Mark was Senate president? How many? Can you mention?
Gamade, another powerful politician from your state, is there.
Yes, but for how? Was it done properly within the books? Was Gamade suspended for across 7 days or 90 days or 120 days? Let me know. You must.
My business is to ask questions.
Well, you might also want to know that if Gamade was ever, and I don't recall, suspended from...
Now, I'm not saying, I'm saying he's a powerful member of the Senate from your state.
Of course, and we disagree with their style. That's what I'm trying to say, say to you. So, especially with the 8th Senate right now. Because
it is not necessarily Saraki all by himself. You find
out that some of them are not even talking. They are just so quiet. Whatever comes up, comes up. Whatever is accepted and agreed is agreed. Bandwagon effect. Like some kids. You just carry them like mumu and they're going forward and going back. Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying on the other side and discussing for the other side. Frankly, if you want to take the Omo-Agege's case for a case...
That's the thrust of the discussion,
case study. You are in the Senate. You are supposed to be something, they are supposed to have something upstairs.
They have.
Okay, now, if they have, the status book says you cannot suspend.
Sabo, they have, but we are saying it's in the nature of the Nigerian politician to sometimes flip off the handle.
If they are being blurred by certain facts that we do not know. Because their reactions to certain issues have led us into more trouble than necessary.
One of them is your former governor.
Who's my former governor?
Are you asking me?
Akume.
He's a senator.
Oh, yes. I'm inclusive of him.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
So, Honorable, we are in trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you.
For the generation of politicians we have at the moment.
It's not about the generation of politicians. I would want to put it this way. It's a reflection of our society. Is that truly us? That is the way we are. Because if we are not, you can't give what you don't have. And if what we have been given is what we have there as our senators, we must go back and look at 2019 is going to give us an opportunity. And that's why I'm saying that we cannot go the way you...
Have you heard the statement?
2019 is the issue right now.
Yeah, have you heard that?
2019 is the issue right now.
Have you heard that?
The election sequence that we are talking about is about 2019.
Yeah.
The change of chief of staffs is 2019. The current breed have refused to play.
I disagree with you on the issue of the chief of staffs.
They have refused to play. The man has professionalized the army. The boys are no more going to collect Ghana must goals.
You are speaking like a Buhari man. And hold on, and you are supposed to be dispassionate.
Look, let me tell you, I speak for the truth.
Okay.
I speak
I'm also a Buhari man.
No, truth is relative here.
Yeah, I speak for the truth.
Okay.
I have children. Tomorrow, if I don't have a Nigeria, where do they go to? And we cannot allow this crop of senators who are virtually taking everything that belongs to Nigeria to begin to look, I begin to look into their face and be shy of telling the truth. I wouldn't do that, sir. They should go and, let me tell you, let me say this, let me not get too sentimental. I'm sentimental
please don't
about the country, about my own children,
the country,
and your children and his children.
So sometimes, do you know you're running into the trouble of determining who you want to support, the government or the country at a time like this?
Well, I think the government runs the country.
All right.
Listen.
But the country is bigger. Please, the country is bigger than the government. Let me go on this break. We'll be back. Easy, you know, that's why you came here. Shit. All right, go with me on the break. We'll be back. Okay, then, you're still there. The 8th National Assembly and the impolitic methodologies. I have two gentlemen here. Sabo Ode is from Benue State. He's a businessman, convener coalition for Nigeria. And we have Honorable Olusegun Olulade. He's a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. So he's a practicing politician, and he's a practicing
Civil society.
activist.
Activist.
You've talked about 2019 politics booting, gathering momentum.
Yes.
So we expect more theatrics in the coming days?
Yeah. Coming days and weeks.
Okay.
As you know, the President of the Senate is not in the country. Mr. President is not in the country. We expect that by the time they return, the reactions to what are the actions on ground already will begin to unfold.
And further divide opinion.
Yes.
Like that.
People taking sides, people canvassing for whatever. So we expect that it will be explosive. Like we've always said, from our part as civil society, we have always asked for the best for Nigerians. We are taking position to sensitize people against odds, evils that we see anywhere.
And the politician has to act from the heart, not from the head.
Well, when you say the politician, I always laugh when people are tagging some set of people as politicians.
But you are a politician.
I am a politician. That's why I'm saying.
So why are you surprised?
You are also a politician.
I'm not.
You are.
Animal.
You are a political animal, and we have the tendency of playing politics.
I am not professionally a politician.
Well,
because he draws salary now, he's the professional.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you on that.
So whatever you do is important, right from their home to the city center.
I want to say this, for the fact that just few people are not doing the right thing, that does not make it to be, we cannot say everybody that is a politician is not doing the right thing.
Nobody has said so here, at least not here. So, but let me take you to Arochukwu. Mazi Okorafor is waiting. Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. Good morning, our guests in the studio. Good morning, everyone. You see,
good morning.
Mr. Jones, what happened in Nigeria National Assembly is a shame to the highest order by the lawmakers. The voice they use are not soft. These are employees of the senators. That is why in Nigeria today we have the highest number of armed robbers in Africa, highest numbers of kidnappers in Africa, highest number of assassins in Africa, Fulani headsmen, government, trained and equipped like this, our honorable man. You see, what we are saying is that many of them are aware that they will not come back come 2019. New name for our National Assembly by me is now House of Commotion and Confusion. Because we should remove that word National Assembly, because what we get is confusion. Now, even the day that made the senator to behave, that you saw what happened later now, that they have suspended the jail. You see, sometimes you start asking yourself, what is happening? And what is the annoying most yesterday when I saw it? This is the boy that the question that carried the mess. He was wearing a singlet and a betrayal paper or this casual paper. Now, this is a youth who's supposed to go to school and get himself equipped, have one entrepreneurial job and be trained, and he's being used. The highest money they will pay, maybe 100,000 or 200,000. That's all. And that's how many days will it take those boys that follow them to the National Assembly? And you see, even the movement alone in the National Assembly, this was a planting. At the end of the day, the National Assembly members, they are just giving themselves. But what you have to know is this continent. The area National Assembly takes things into consideration. They should know that Nigerians are watching.
Thank you. Mazi, thank you. I rather like the appellation, National Assembly. You know. Yes. No, the idea is not to disparage. It's not to disparage my friend Mazi. The youth, the people who took the Mace, Ode and Olulade, were not old men.
I agree with you. Old men can't do that.
Okay. But the youth...
They don't have the energy. They don't have what it takes.
But the youth we expect to take over did that. That statement, look at that statement.
Maybe that is not the youth we expect to take over.
Oh, really?
Just like we don't expect every old man to be a leader. Same, we do not expect every young person to also be a leader.
Yeah.
So we should not just say because it was the youth that were used, then definitely the youth were not prepared for leadership.
It's not a blanket statement. Yeah. Okay, the youth to take over must go through the mill. You can't take somebody from the bank and make president. I hope you know.
Yes,
and he must be versed in politics.
That came to snatch the Mace were not the youth we were looking up to.
Okay.
Can I say something?
No. Just I have a caller here. George is viewing in from Lagos. George, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Jones, and good morning to your panelists.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Citizen Jones, what happened yesterday was a desecration, no doubt. But it is good not only to address an effect of a problem, but the cause of that problem. The Senate itself has already desecrated that hallowed chamber by its own actions, by the way it is going about its activities. How do you suspend senators by, as if they are secondary school students outside the law of the country? Only, according to the Constitution, only the constituents that are elected as senator or by can recall him, not the Senate. They don't have the power to suspend a fellow lawmaker. There are even court judgments to that effect. The Senate president has virtually made the Senate Saraki's political party, that everybody must belong to it. Whoever says anything that the Senate president does not like must be kicked out. Yes. Wherever there is an action, you should always expect a reaction. It's a law of life.
Yeah, even if it is not equal and opposite. But go on.
Yes, what we are saying is reaction to previous actions. Let us address the actions themselves before we address the reaction.
Thank you, Judge.
The activities of the leadership of the Senate has not been anything credible. So we don't expect the reactions to be better either.
Thank you.
I would like to address that. I think it is important that come 2019, whosoever is coming to the State House of Assembly, the National Assembly, they should see to it that that particular section of our rule must be removed. So
that says what?
That allows suspension of.
Is it in the rule book?
It is. You can be suspended
but the Constitution, which is supreme, says not more than 7 days.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Even when you have a case pending. Yeah.
You know what? The Honorable who is sitting down is an equal to the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. He was elected as equal with the Speaker. The Speaker is the head amongst equals. And because you are the head amongst equals does not garner you more grounds to take the House as your personal empire. Because what is happening, if I may jump back to the National Assembly, is that anybody, any senator, this time I refer to senator, we remembered Adamu Abdullahi's case not too long ago, Omo-Agege now, that goes or maintains a contrary view against the Senate president, he's automatically booted out. Why must that be so? And when we begin to see the reactions of stealing or brazenly removing of Mace, you begin to ask yourself questions. Why would we step to that pedestal?
Okay, let me quickly take, Benga is here in Lagos. Benga, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, President Jones.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to the matter. Honestly,
no, sir. No, hold on, Benga.
Yeah.
To the Senate.
Okay.
Yeah. Not Madhouse.
Okay, yeah.
Because me, I no go follow you go there. Yeah, go on.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You will see, impunity builds impunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you see, you cannot cow everybody. That is what Saraki and his group are meant to do. If you look at the majority chief whip, Omo-Agege, he is somebody who speaks very well. They have cowed them. Many of these people, they can no longer speak their mind because they don't know what will happen to them. Even when we have precedent, there was a lawmaker in a Bauchi state that even up to the Court of Appeal, that the appeal, you cannot suspend, they have no power to suspend these people. Yeah. And yet, they were going against the law. And when you do that, what we are only inviting is anarchy. These people are not secondary school students that you just be talking to anyhow. Yeah. I think the Senate themselves invited this anarchy. Okay. And I think that's why they are now putting a stop to it, because they know they cannot handle it.
Thank you. Gentlemen, you know, there's a story we were told those days by some old people in my side, in my part of the world. They say when a mango tree bears fruits and it's in season, you know, boys will throw sticks. They said, don't be afraid of mangoes coming down, but old sticks that are up there coming down with a mango.
Can break your head.
That's it.
Yes.
So
that's the reaction.
All right. So that's what we saw yesterday?
Yeah.
But is so Benga just said something. Well, I want us to breach it.
Let me hold on. Let me buttress with a clear fact.
Okay.
Senator Alin Dume represents Borno, one of the Bornos. He's a senator from Borno.
Yeah, one of the senatorial districts.
Yes, from Borno. And we know that Boko Haram is rampaging the place.
Yeah.
The man is in the Senate to represent his people. At least to make a call, say, please, I want you to approve this or do that or do that. You suddenly suspend him for no known reason, no constitutional...
But he does not suspend the Senate... sorry, okay, let me pause you a while and go to the legislator. At the Lagos House, will the Speaker unilaterally suspend you without support from anywhere? Is it possible?
The thing is run like a mafia gang.
No, let him paint the picture. I mean,
there are cabals. He knows there are cabals in the houses.
Does he know that?
Of course, I'm sure he knows.
Oh, you have cabal?
Everywhere.
They are groupings.
At the Lagos House?
They are groupings. You can call it cabal or mafia group or whatever. The cabal that runs the Senate is a big one.
It's about interest.
Yes, it's about interest. It's a big one. As soon as you are seen to not to support the current leadership.
Because the caller just talked about the Senate minority leader, majority leader, all cowed.
Oh, of course they are.
Can they really be cowed?
Now, yes. You know why? The Senate president determines which committee you chair. And we know that there are lucrative and non-lucrative committees.
Oh, really? We'll come back to that. But let's check up on Yakub in Lagos here. Yakub, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And then good morning to Honorable Ulaje and the gentleman in the studio.
Is Sabo Ode. Yes.
Thank you, sir. You see, Citizen Jones, the truth must be saying here. The illegality that the Senate president is frustrating that house call for this. Let me remind you, sir. You see, the impunity is too much. The Senator Idume, they suspended Senator Idume for the same house. Do you know Senator Idume went to court, and then the court have already given verdict that you don't have right to do so. And then the senator in question, Omo-Agege, he also go to the court. And even though the man come to the Senate and apologize that what I did is wrong, if I ought you, please forgive me.
That's
and then
part of cowing.
And I organize the committee to suspend the person. Let me tell you, the man in question knew that if I stick to this court issue, I may be outside the Senate for that 90 days, if not more than more. Because Senator Idume stay for that house more than 6 months. Let's not talk about Dubri as a person. Dubri in the National Assembly, stay out of the National Assembly for almost 1 year. Nothing happened because he went to the court. See, the people that invaded that house yesterday, they were not thugs. They were the people that angry people, and then they work for the senator in question. Because I listened to the senator in question after the plenary section. He said that the court said you cannot suspend me for more than a day, and then he still went ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. So look at the footage that was shown now.
Yes.
You see, the man took the mace gingerly out of the red chamber without no
opposition. Nobody stopped him. I saw Senator Shehu signing. I saw Senator, the one from Bayelsa, Ben Bruce. I saw Senator all standing. In fact,
helplessly.
One senator was laughing.
Okay.
At that kind of occurrence.
Okay.
You draw your salary, you draw your livelihood from representing your people and from that Senate. And you saw the sign of authority, the mace, being removed by somebody you know is not a senator, and you stood there with your babandi gun, you were laughing.
But by the way, I should say this. This is coming from the police headquarters. Omo-Agege was not arrested. The police says he was shielded from further wahala, and he's been released. Now, there must be a way out of all of this. How do you arrest a situation like this?
Well, the first thing to be done is for the Senate president to have a parliamentary meeting with all the senators and be able to resolve whatsoever that is there. And they should follow the law. Let's abide by the rule of the game.
After all, you make laws.
Yeah, we should not be seen as lawbreakers. We must be seen as lawmakers, but not lawbreakers. When the rule is there, we must be able to follow the rule. I believe that it is the responsibility of even our party, the APC, and the party leaders, including Mr. President, to step into this matter and resolve it.
A call is coming from one of the areas represented by Omo-Agege Wari. Samson is here. Samson, good morning.
Hey, good morning, John.
Yeah.
And good morning, our panelists.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Let us get something right there. Yeah? Number one, I know I don't have a senator now. And you have honorable things and them with you. Maybe we will go after years too. And that is number one. Then number two, sir, we have to get something right. In the house, there's the rule of proceeding. If they don't know, Omo-Agege is a lawyer. That's number one. He knows the fact. What happened yesterday, we don't like it. Then something has to stop. Then let me give you a good solution to it. They should level all our politicians on the level of salary scale, level 16 or level 18 higher. If a professor in a university can earn 80,000, people, my brother sitting there, I know you will earn more than $1 million. So all these things is bringing out a lot of things. And if they have to sanction somebody for 181 days, somebody that is earning 30 or 29 million every month, how do you want him to sustain?
Yeah,
so the best bet is to cut down the take-home solution. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Samson, when you were mentioning 1 million, Honorable Olulade, he has not because he has seen your pay slip, no. Yes. You people don't want to discuss it. I'm not interested in knowing how much.
Here before, I've made it known to.
No, you never brought your pay slip. But no, I don't want to see it. But I'm saying it's not about how much you earn, Ode. It's about how he legislates, how he represents his people. That's key, you know.
That's key.
Do the job, and whatever, but get the job done.
Yes. That's it. But at the national level, you see people going for oversight functions because they have built-in padded monies that they want to go and take care personally with the contractor.
And by the way, you know, in passing, let me rub this in. The budget is still pending.
Why? The question is why?
But it's not about 2019.
No, yes, it is. It comes back to Saraki and his style.
Okay.
Now, if you are representing the people sincerely, in you know, the very annoying aspect of it is this. The Senate will pretend about it. They are so pretentious. You are supposed to pass the budget. Up till as we speak, I'm sure that budget is not passed. What do you expect Nigerians to go through? Pain and discomfort. Yet you use that pain and discomfort for politics, ostrich and politics. It is wicked. It is very wicked, frankly, because you expect people to pay their children's school fees. And this money...
And do other things.
And do other things.
You know, he broached the subject, even if for a brief moment.
Yes.
What do we do from here?
Now, Isiba, you see, let me tell you.
David Mark is your senator. So what do you do from here? It's not about him, you know, but I'm saying...
Let me tell you him as a person. You know how quiet he is.
No. You are telling me about him.
Yes,
he's not my senator.
Right now, he's quiet. He's in the Senate, yes, but he's not that active as when he was Senate president. Okay, and maybe that quietness is part of his dislike for the style. Maybe.
But is that helping the situation?
Well,
all right. Let me hear first from Musa. Is in Jigawa. Welcome, Musa. How are you?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, morning.
First of all, I want to contribute to the issue of security that was first discussed.
No. Oga, we know they talk. We are not discussing security now. Let's address what happened yesterday, which also affects the security by other means.
Okay. The security at the Senate House. Let me talk about the security at the Senate House.
What happened yesterday?
Yes.
Go on.
I think that there's an element of collusion at the security in the National Assembly.
Mm-hmm.
There's an element of collusion, honestly speaking. Because according to one of my guys who used to go to the National Assembly, that it is a very difficult task for you to gain access to that place. So in my own contribution, the executive, they have a role to play in this issue. They have a role to play. And the man at the middle, I think he is speaking for Buhari. He doesn't want to consider anything national. He's just related at what Buhari wants, and that's all. That is my own contribution.
Thank you. Again, it's a natural reaction, especially when statements are not coming from different quarters. When there is no information, rumors will fill the gap.
Yeah.
Well, that there's a collusion.
Of course,
you read it?
Of course. We saw the clips.
Can you define the collusion?
Because there was every senator has an orderly, an armed, most of them have armed orderlies, whether it's procured
by law.
I don't think whether it's procured by the back doors, probably. But you see them carrying one mobile man in front of their vehicles. And that's the way they drive into the chambers or into the environment of the National Assembly.
As you speak, you are closing your thoughts.
As soon as we begin to respect our egos and respect our feelings, Nigeria will be better for it. Saraki should call his colleagues and let them sit as equal.
Bukola Saraki.
Okay. Bukola Saraki.
Senator Bukola Saraki.
Senator Bukola Saraki should call his equals and colleagues. Let them sit down as one and equals and discuss the way forward. You don't behave like a gangster.
You don't flog a child and expect the child not to cry.
Not to cry, not to react.
How do you close?
Well, for me, I think we've got it wrong from day one. I think we should now look forward to how to correct and manage the system. The issue of suspension, I think that should go to the cooler for now. And let us come together as one. And we should also not allow anybody, again, and whosoever is involved in this issue of invading the National Assembly, invading the Senate, should be
fished out and punished.
And punished, because
duly.
I am not of the opinion that people can just take law into their hand to invade the National
Considering
Assembly.
Also that tomorrow you could be a senator, nobody knows.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Only God.
Amen. I received that.
I'm not forecasting. I'm not. But
I think you are a pastor. So
no, come on.
I just received it.
Honorable Olusegun Olulade, I thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Sabo Ode, you have a rich voice. Come into broadcasting.
I think that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to be speaking the truth all the time.
Yeah.
And people will, I will smoke a lot of people out.
All right, we end it here. Thank you, folks. There's another program in this series tomorrow. Join us bright and early. But take a few moments of your time. Reflect on this country. Could we not have done better? Bye-bye now.
It's up to us, all of us.